What is up, Bears fans? Welcome to the Chicago Bears Huddle podcast. I'm Aaron W. James. This is your UK take on all things Chicago Bears. Guys, we're going to talk Dexter. We're going to talk safeties in this video. Guy, a reminder, the majority of you who watch the video are not actually subscribed to the channel, so please obviously help us get to that 1K sooner rather than later. We've hit 555 subscribers. Please obviously smash that sub and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on the great free Bears content with your UK take on all things Chicago Bears in what is going to be a enthralling off-season for the Bears. Ryan Poles, so much work to do around the cap, but also a lot of work to do on defense and a left tackle problem to answer. Thank you for your phenomenal response to the last video, the Tremaine Edmonds Borum video. Brilliant response. Thanks for your comments. Love reading your comments. I always will try and get back to you if possible. Right, we're going to talk Dexter now. We know that earlier in this process, we know that the Bears took a whole load of calls on Dexter Sr., that Dexter was someone who was attracting an awful lot of interest from around the NFL. That was what was being spoken about. Now, we now know and we now understand that this has been debunked in terms of the fact that the Bears will not be shopping Dexter at all. Even though there is interest from elsewhere in the NFL, there is no desire within the Bears organization to allow Dexter to leave the Bears. Where does this information come from? Well, it comes from Bears insider Brad Biggs. Brad Biggs of the Chicago Tribune has shut down the rumors. Speaking on the score, he made it clear the Chicago Bears are no longer taking any calls and will not be making calls regarding Dexter at all. The trade chatter obviously gained traction because of what Ryan Poles said at Indiana, but certainly now this seems to be not the case. There is no active market for him and the Bears are not making or taking calls. Dexter is firmly part of Chicago's plans for the 2026 season, and there are obviously long-term strategies to keep him in place. A strong signal that Ryan Poles, general manager of the Bears, values the input that Dexter has and values Dexter as a player. I mean, look, if we look at Dexter's stats, this is a guy who, certainly fulfills that first criteria, isn't it? The best ability is availability. This is a guy who has only missed 2 games in his entire time as a Chicago Bear. That was back in the 2024 season. If you go on this last season, 44 total tackles he made, 21 solo, 23 assisted, 6 sacks, a career high last year. 2 fumble recoveries in with that as well. So certainly a really good season, and he certainly seems to be growing. And there were certainly talks as well of him becoming a bit of a leader on that defensive line last off season. Season before as well, even though he played 2 fewer games, had more tackles at 51 tackles, and also clocked up 5 sacks as well as 2 fumble recoveries. He's a guy who contributes and always does seem to contribute as well. So look, valuable that he is staying, good that he is staying. He clearly is a player the Bears hold in high esteem, and he clearly is going to continue to be part of the franchise's plans going forward. Quality player. Look, I'm really happy that this is the case. I really like Dexter. I think he can be a valuable part. And look, trading away Dexter would have left us exceptionally short on that defensive line, a position that we do need to strengthen, massively. It's an area the Bears need to look at and need to add to. We're already going to lose a number of defensive linemen through free agency anyway. If you look at the players we're losing, Big Billings obviously is going to be a free agent. Williams, Dominique Robinson, I know he's a defensive end, but still, he is another player who is going out in this defensive line, who we're going to lose as well. So look, there's a number of players who are already on the way out. So we do need to maintain that strength, and Dexter, I think, certainly appears to be part of the future plans of this organisation. And even though he's entering the final year of his rookie deal, I think there will be an intent there to sign him to a new contract for the Bears going forward. Good news indeed. Now, Daniel Jeremiah has been talking about the Chicago Bears and the safety room. Now, we know that the safety room is emptying, and the Bears have no safeties as we speak at time of recording. Brisker, Byard, Hicks, Owens all become free agents. Now, the big talk, of course, is that Byard will be likely retained. I mean, Ryan Poles has already made that very clear that he wants Byard to remain a Bear. He values his leadership, he values his experience, and he's coming off the back of a phenomenal season. He certainly doesn't appear to be aging. Now, I know some people have talked about possibly keeping Brisker ahead of Byard due to the fact that Brisker is younger There are, of course, injury concerns around Brisker, even though he stayed healthy all of last season, was one of our better players. At the end of the day, Brisker is still got that injury worry behind him. Now, look, Bayard is likely to be retained. Talk of a $10 million deal for Kevin Bayard. That is what is being spoken about. Not yet, obviously, for anything formal from the Bears, but it does appear that is the case. I think, speaking and looking at it, I think Hicks and Owens could well be brought back on relatively cheap deals anyway, but there's still going to be a need to bring in someone to play alongside Kevin Bayard. Now, look, there is a number of free agent safeties available. We know that, obviously, the likes of Cook, for example, Brian Cook, Alontae Taylor, a number of different players who will be available. However, Cam Curl, another one who has been very highly mentioned. But Daniel Jeremiah talked about the fact that, in his opinion, there is a real strength in depth in this safety class going into the NFL draft. And as he tweeted out the other day, the combine and the draft was a very bad day for free agent safeties, given the class. Now, this could, of course, work in the Bears' advantage, that if teams look at what's in the free agent market, don't like it, don't want to pay big money for it, we could get Brisker back on a team-friendly deal. You never know. But the likelihood, of course, is that does not happen. Now, there are a number of top prospects in this draft who could come in and play alongside Kevin Bayard. The top three, obviously, are Caleb Downs, Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and Dylan Thieneman. Now, look, these three guys are top guys. Caleb Downs, obviously, of OSU, of Ohio State. Top guy. Likely to go high, probably likely to go before the Bears pick at 25. But there's a chance that the likes of McNeil-Warren or even Thieneman could possibly fall to 25. Would the Bears be willing to take a safety at 25? That's the key question. But the strength in depth at that position is quite clear, and obviously we'll do some more featuring of these players closer to the draft. But even behind them, picks that could come, maybe second round guys, the likes obviously of Kamari Ramsey, Zaki Wheatley, the guy from Penn State, that's where we got Brisker from. AJ Halsey out of LSU. Again, all strong prospects coming out of college in this year's draft. So, as Daniel Jeremiah says, there are a lot of good, strong safeties in this draft, and that could be somewhere where the Bears look to go for. They could look for a safety in the draft to come in, play alongside Kevin Bayard and learn from Kevin Bayard. I mean, Bayard is a leader. He's a top guy, isn't he, Kevin Bayard? And he's, like I said, not just a good player, but he's also a leader on the field as well. And certainly someone I think could help really school and bring along someone like, let's say, a Thieneman, let's say an Emmanuel McNeil-Warren, and if not them, a Kamari Ramsey, or certainly someone like that. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Who do you think we should bring in at safety? Should we be looking for an experienced free agent like a Brian Cook or even a Cam Curl, or should we be looking at the draft options and going in the first round for someone like, for instance, a Thieneman or a McNeil-Warren, or even a second round for someone like a Ramsey, a Halsey, or a Wheatley? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Guys, thank you for watching the Bears Huddle podcast. If you've enjoyed the content, please like, comment, share, and of course, subscribe to the channel. Bear down.